What? Hi guys, this is Erin. I directed the 100th Hunger Games, and today I'm going to be talking to you about Mockingjay Part 2. I went to see it, technically 3 times, but that's part of the story that I'm going to tell you, but it's pretty interesting. The first time I went to see it, it was on a Saturday night, and by the time I got to the cinema, it had been sold out for the next couple hours, because at the cinema that I went to, they were showing a new one every 30 minutes, but for the next 2 and something hours, it was completely sold out. I'm sure you can imagine I was pretty damn excited, because these books and these movies mean a lot to me. If you knew me, you'd know how much these books mean to me. So I was very, very nervous and excited, and really actually quite sad because it was the last one. So I went to the movie on the Monday night, and this review is going to contain spoilers, so if you haven't watched it, click away. This bit's going to contain spoilers. At the point where the parachutes started coming down, I kid you not, a guy in the audience had a heart attack. They had to evacuate the theatre, call an ambulance, and take the guy out on a gurney. Oh my gosh! But I can't say I was having the worst time, because I'm pretty sure that he was having the worst time. But as far as I'm aware, he's fine. But that is how my Mockingjay Part 2 experience went. I was ridiculously excited, and the entire movie, the staff of the cinema were walking up and down the aisles, and it was actually, that part was really annoying, because there was this one guy who would just stand behind me, and I could just see him out of the corner of my eye, and I just wanted to be like, go away! The cinema was very apologetic. They gave everyone free tickets to come to another movie another time. So I went the next night with my sister to see Mockingjay again. And they upgraded our seats, so we were very comfortable. And this time, no one had a heart attack, which was good, because if someone had, then I would have been very, very concerned. And aside from the 2 little kids sitting next to me who wouldn't stop talking, I eventually had to go, be quiet! I eventually had to do that, but apart from them, it was amazing. So, let's get into the actual review part of this video. So I'm going to start from the beginning of the movie. I probably won't stay there. I'll probably jump all over the place, but let's give that a try and see how that goes. Let's talk about that opening scene with the bruises on the neck. Oh my gosh, it looked so good and so painful at the same time. I love it. It was so good. It was so good. Jennifer Lawrence is freaking amazing. It was so good. It was so good. It was so good. I'm gonna say that like a million times throughout this review. She looked so horrible and so awesome at the same time. Those bruises were horrible. They were really horrible. And with the whole trying to speak, I love that she's not even worried about herself. She just wants to see Peter. At the wedding scene where she's dancing with Prim and then she's hugging Prim, and there's that thing where the camera goes around and around and around, I just knew. I was sitting there thinking, yep, this is the last moment we're gonna have with Prim. After this, the next thing that's gonna involve Prim is her dying. And I just sat there and I could feel my eyes welling up because I knew what was coming. One of the things that I liked most about the movie was Prim, even though we only saw her like a couple times before. When she went in to see Peter, it just showed how much she'd grown, because like from the first movie where she was so afraid and she couldn't even walk to the reaping without having a panic attack, to going in and making sure Peter's okay. Oh my gosh. I think Willow Shields was like the perfect Prim. I can't imagine there being a better Prim. She was excellent as Prim. One of the points where I started to tear up and like had to try to control my breathing was when Peter said he should have given the bread to the pig. Because the whole thing about Peter is that he's the boy with the bread. He's that kind, loving person who takes a beating for a stranger. He's the ideal person, and to see him turned into that made me really sad. So well done, bravo, bravo, brilliant movie. I loved it so much. And he looked so sick, he looked so bad. I just wanted to hug him the whole time, but I knew that if I did, he'd try to kill me. The thing about Peter that I loved was when they are bringing him to this his squad thingy-majiggy, and he's muttering to himself and he's saying, my name is Peter Millark, I'm from District 12, my name is Peter Millark, I'm from District 12. It's the same thing that Katniss does to calm herself down. They are they're a match made in heaven, they're perfect for each other, and I ship it, I ship it, I ship it. I don't ship Gale and Katniss because Gale was a pissy little ass all through this movie. It's just like, he's been hijacked. He's been hijacked. They've been tortured. Why are you worried about your love life? You're at war. Why are you worried about your love life? Stop it. And it's not just this movie. It's the whole series. Gale was a good act. A lot can change, and just like, do you want her to be dead? Because that's the other option. Pick one. Stop worrying about your love life and worry about staying alive and keeping the people who you love alive. Because I tell you, if he had straightened up his priorities, Prim would not have had to go through what she went through.
She needs to sort out her priorities.
If he had his priorities right, Prim would have probably survived. Just saying. I like Boggs. Boggs was awesome while he was alive. I'm really sad he died because I really liked him. Joanna. I freaking loved Joanna in this. She is so great and so funny. I love her. Another one of my favorite scenes of the movie was the scene where they're in District 2 and they've just bombed the mountain and the avalanche has come through and the survivors are coming through on the train, and the guy grabs her with the gun and he's like, give me one good reason why I shouldn't shoot you, and she's just like, I can't. So make someone happy. And when she said that thing about, and I killed Cato, and Cato killed Thresh, and Thresh killed Clove, I just sat there and my heart was going insane. Oh my gosh, that was because I was really worried that they were going to cut that out of the movie, because that was one of my favorite scenes in the whole book. Just because Katniss was back, because a lot of the last book I felt that she spent a lot of the time just feeling really sorry for herself and crying, which is understandable considering everything she went through, but I wanted my girl on fire. In this scene, the girl on fire was back. She stepped up and she nailed it and she was awesome, and then she got shot and oh my gosh, that was so perfectly done. It was so perfectly done. It was done just right. I was happy with that. I was very, very happy with that. I'm going to talk about that thing that happens to that one character that should never have happened in the sewers, because I'm going to cry if I think about that. And there I go, my eyes are welling up now. Especially the part where they run out of the tunnels and there's a wanted poster right there, and it's the one with Finnick's face on it. Oh my gosh. Generally, I don't want them to change anything. I want the movie to be true to the book, but I wanted them to change that. When it went to that shot of him climbing up the ladder and I saw Mutt come up, I just knew. I knew we were gonna lose him forever, that he would be gone, and that we would have no more sugar cubes. The fact that it was actually Katniss who killed him. She killed him to save him. How messed up is that? Sorry, the light is getting weird, the sun is going down and it's getting cloudy, even though it's only like 3 o'clock. The execution scene. When Katniss starts walking out of the thing towards the thing with her thing on and her bow and arrow and the drums going off, and my heart was just going insane with these drums. And then when the other rebels come up behind her and walk with her, and they're walking in like a shape like this, and then they get to that point where they all stop and Katniss just walks forward and Snow is tied up there. And his face, because he, at that one point, he actually really did look afraid. And then when Coin steps out and she's got her arms open like this, and I'm just like, kill that bitch. Because I know she would have been worse than Snow. She was more bloodthirsty and revenge thirsty than Snow was. She would have been worse than Snow, in my opinion. And then when she stands up there and she says that thing about, may your aim be as true as your heart is pure. I just she was using Katniss at that moment to gain favor with the people. I mean, she always did use Katniss to gain favor for herself, but by saying those words, she was basically saying, the Mockingjay picks me, and she picks me because her heart is pure, and she picks me because she knows that I'm right for this place. She's trying to manipulate everyone into thinking things that Katniss doesn't even think. And when Katniss is there with her bow and arrow and she's aiming at Snow, and that look on his face, he looked afraid for a moment and there was blood on his lip, and then I was just waiting for her, and then she turns up and then she fires at Snow, and then not Snow, she fires at Almacoin, and then Almacoin just hits the deck and Snow starts laughing and choking on the blood in his mouth. That was the pinnacle of perfection. That was done so well. Let's talk about the scene with Katniss and Buttercup.
This isn't Buttercup. This is Lexi. Hello.
Oh, I know. I love you too. Oh my gosh. Let's talk about that scene for a second. Can we all just agree that that was the best scene of the whole movie? Because that is the scene where it doesn't matter whether you are a fangirl like me or a tattooed biker who never told his mother that he loves her cry, because everybody cried during that scene. It was just, oh my gosh. That was the best scene of the whole movie, simply because Jennifer Lawrence's performance was so incredible, and the cat was so kind, because the cat was nicer than Gale. The cat was kinder than Gale. The cat put all of that stuff aside and still let Katniss hug him, because Katniss had just lost everything. And I bawled my eyes out like a baby. I also bawled my eyes out at the end with the last scene with Katniss and Peter and their babies. With Katniss saying that there are much worse games to play. And then when the credits rolled up and it was Jennifer Lawrence singing Deep in the Meadow, I couldn't contain myself. I just died. Another part where I started crying a lot was when Peter comes back to District 12 and Katniss sees him for the first time and he's planting primrose in the garden for her. I started crying again, because again it shows how perfect they are for each other. Gale would never have done something like that. Never in a million years. He'd be too busy complaining about something or being pissy about the fact that Peter was the one who was thoughtful enough to get her the flowers. And it also was the point where Peter was back. He was back for real. He was back for real. Real or not real. Towards the end of the movie where she and Peter are in District 12 and she gets up and she goes to sleep with him in his bed and he's hugging her and he says, "You love me real and not real," and she says real. That was perfect. I really and truly loved the movie. So I am so happy with the way it was done and with the way it ended, but I am so sad that it is over. There's one thing that I want to say before I wrap up this video. I've had a couple people on the channel complaining about other people being rude and bullying and just being general dickheads. And I'm putting this out here right now. I'm not going to put up with that. So you know who you are, stop it. If you bully someone and I get a lot of complaints about it, I'm gonna block you. So we get enough of that from everybody else. Do we really need it here too? But anyway, that's me done. I hope you all have a good day or night or whatever it is, wherever you are. And I will have another video up for you soon. Let me know what you would like to see in the comments, because I'm always looking for new ideas of new content that I could put up here that have anything to do with books and the Hunger Games and anything like that. So, I'll see you guys later. Bye!